Hey guys, welcome to Real Life of a Teacher. I'm Claire, and today I'm going to share with you my winter trimester favorites. As you may know, I teach 6th, 7th, and 8th grade language arts and social studies, so first I want to share with you some of my favorite books from this winter term. So the first is Backwater by Joan Bauer. I am currently we're 2 chapters away from the end, reading this with my 6th and 7th graders. And I was a little skeptical because I only have one girl in that group, and this is a book with a girl as the main character. But there is a lot of adventure and fun stuff, and this book has been a huge hit. This is the maybe 2nd or 3rd year that I've used this book, and it continues to be super popular. And weirdly, there's not a lot of stuff online about how to teach this book. There's lots of other stuff for other Joan Bauer books, like Hope Was Here is another really good one by her. I just love Joan Bauer, and this one has been a huge hit with my students. It's not super long, you can see here, so it's good for some of my readers who get intimidated by a really long book, but lots and lots of good stuff in here. We're doing this with the Notice of Note signposts, and it's working really, really well. Loving this. My next 2 books I don't have physical copies of because they are out with students, or I have digital copies of them. Actually, my next 3 books, there's 3 more novels that I want to share. One is A Long Walk to Water. It is about the Sudanese Civil War, so there's 2 parallel stories there, one about people fleeing during that war, and one is set in modern times with digging a well to have fresh water. And that was one of my 6th graders' independent books recently, and she came back into class and said that it is now officially her favorite book, so I say that's a hit. The other one that is really, really good is called Lizzie Bright in the Buckminster Boy. It's by, I'm not going to think of his name, but it will be here with the book. Gary Schmidt, maybe? I don't know. It'll be on the book. But that is a phenomenal book. It's based on real historical events up in Maine, and our middle school class gets to go on a big week-long field trip every year, and this year we're going up to Bar Harbor in Maine. So this book sort of talks about the geography of that place as well as the rest of the story. It's a pretty heartbreaking book, but beautiful figurative language, lots and lots of symbolism. I do that with my 8th graders every year because it is a little bit more of a challenging read because of all of that figurative language, but it's so, so good. And the last student book that I want to talk about is called The Duel. It's about the parallel lives of Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr. And I have a couple of students who are totally hooked on Hamilton, and we're doing a nonfiction reading unit, so I got this one thinking nonfiction for my Hamilton addicts. And I read probably the first half of it before a kid took it. I really liked it. That student's really liking it, making a lot of good connections between what they know about Alexander Hamilton from the play and being able to sort of tie those together and get some more information. So that's another one that's pretty small and thin, but a phenomenal read. And my last book is a teacher book, and it's this book here called Inevitable, Mass Customized Learning by Charles Schwann and Beatrice McGarvey. This is a book that I had read maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and I was talking about it with one of my fellow teachers at my school and how he had never read it, so I pulled it off of my bookshelf again and have been flipping through and looking at my notes. And one of the challenges I'm facing at my school is our population is getting smaller and smaller, so we're feeling kind of restricted by the number of students that we have. So this book more and more is seeming like a direction that I could be interested in heading in. The first time you read it, I will say the first time I read it, I sort of freaked out. It sounds like so much work. It sounds like, it's totally different. Their idea about how we could mass customize learning for students seemed really overwhelming at first. But now on my second time through, really thinking about how I can modify this idea to suit my students in our school, it's really exciting. It's really an exciting idea that at least I think is worth reading for the just for the new ideas. Even if it's not something you can or want to apply in your school right now, I think it's a really inspirational sort of idea to force you to think about how you're doing things and why you're doing them the way that you are. In general, I totally love Teachers Pay Teachers. I was talking with my principal about it the other day, and just how we love that we're able to support other teachers, know that we're getting materials in a way that helps other teachers, that it's not some big corporation, it's not anything like that. And there's, amazing ideas on there. There's so many good things. And one of my favorite things that I have found for this trimester is a Teachers Pay Teachers store called History with Mr. E, and I will link it below. But I have the whole unit for ancient Greece, which is the social studies unit that I'm working on right now, and I love it. It's so good. There are so many things on there, so many sort of beginning places that you can go and use your own activities. So right now we are working on the comparing and contrasting Athens and Sparta, and he has a recruitment poster that goes along with that where you have to choose sides and try and recruit people to your side. And I'm going to add a debate element into that. So lots of things you can start with and adapt or just use on their own. My school uses the Lucy Calkins units of study in writing, and my 8th graders are working through their writing about reading unit, and the mentor text that we have been using for our whole class writing is All Summer in a Day by Ray Bradbury, and this is a story that I've used for the last 3 years with my 8th graders. And for whatever reason this year, it's really just, I'm loving the short story. My students, I will be honest, say it's a little depressing, which I totally agree. But for whatever reason, the story is working so well for my students. Their writing is going so well. I'm so proud of them. And I'm just loving rereading the story over and over again. All right. Sorry if my light has changed. My ring light died, so I had to plug back in and let it charge. So it might be substantially brighter than it was a moment ago. But we're making it work. Let's see, where was I? My favorite activity that I have been doing with my students has been making rubrics. So oftentimes, right, the rubrics are made, you give them to the kids before they start their assignment, and then you give them to them again at the end with their grade on it. I really like making rubrics with my students, and that forces them to know it's on there because they're making it, and they feel like they have a voice in it because they do have a voice in it, and they're more sort of willing to buy into it and recognize that those are the expectations. So one of my favorite rubrics, that's not it. One of my favorite, something just fell over the edge. So one of my favorite rubrics that I have made with my students is for our short responses. So here you can sort of see it. This is when my students decided that our categories should be convention, so like spelling, length of the response, topic and concluding sentences they put together, clarity, and then details and evidence. And we've been using this a lot lately, and there's an ongoing debate right now in my classroom about making the details and evidence count for twice as much as the rest of the sections, or to have it sort of split into two where we have details and evidence and then another one where we talk about explanation. So this coming week, we've got to decide how we're going to modify the rubric that we've been working with, because they've all decided that that explanation part is really important and that our rubric doesn't really reflect that very well. My last school thing is Quizlet. I have developed a bunch of games in my class where I have questions written on note cards. It's mostly for grammar review, and the note cards get lost and they get put back into funny orders, and I've just been transferring all of that stuff to Quizlet and putting just practice questions on there that my students can study for tests on. They're loving it. I'm loving it. They're better at sort of making things on Quizlet than I am. They know sort of where to go if it's note cards or learn. So I'm still sort of playing around with it and getting used to it, but my students love it, and they are really good about helping me with it because they know I need a little bit of help if we're going to keep using it, and they're more than willing to help. And my last two things are fashion things. So firstly, I have this pair of absurdly sparkly slip-on sneakers, and they're already a little bit dirty, but these ones are by the brand Restricted, and I got them at Marshall's for like $16. My favorite sandals of all time were from White Mountain. They were sort of like Birkenstock looking ones that were sparkly like that. And I was feeling sad that it's not summertime and I couldn't wear them, and then I walked into Marshall's and saw those. They're incredible. I get lots of compliments from students. They're very popular with them, but they are pretty comfortable, and I mean, sparkly shoes on Friday makes everybody's day a little bit better. And the last also Friday thing is a new pair of jeans. I can only wear jeans to work on Fridays, but having a comfortable pair is really crucial. And this is a pair from American Eagle, which I haven't bought from American Eagle in a million years. They're just like blue wash jeans, but they're very high-waisted. These are the American Eagle Super Stretch AEO Denim X. Oh my gosh, there's so many names. These are the, let's see, super high-rise jeggings, and I have mine in a pair in a size 6 short. I have like really short legs, and these fit perfectly and are so super comfortable. So my last couple of things are not teacher exclusive things, but they're things that affect my everyday life, and teaching is sort of my everyday life. So a couple of things. 2 lip products. So the first is Pillow Plump XXL by Soap & Glory. I have mine in the color Pinkwell. It's not very pink, but it is like a plumping lip gloss that I sort of like, that like tingly burny feeling, and I like the way this one feels on my lips. You don't want to use too much because it can get a little bit sticky, but I'm loving this. My other lip product is by ColourPop. It is one of their lippy sticks, and it's in the color Juice Bar, and it's a sheer color. So not super bright, but it is a nice sort of pink. I've been needing that sort of springtime color. And it does sort of build up into a brighter color, if you can see that. This one is a nice, comfortable thing to wear all day. Don't like wearing regular lipstick for the most part because it wears off and sort of weird ways. This one, because it's sheer, wears off in a pretty, pleasant to look at kind of way. So that is everything that I have in my winter trimester favorites. So we have finished trimester 2, we're moving into trimester 3, our spring trimester. And I just can't believe that we're 2/3 of the way done with the school year. So please let me know in comments below anything that's been working really well for you in your winter trimester at school. I'd love to hear it. Please like if you like this video, and subscribe if you want to see more from me. Thanks for watching.